once again, I'm Carl with Targets with Attitude, as always, and I welcome you back to my little corner of cyberspace. Today I'm revisiting a brand of knives that I haven't reviewed much lately. Frankly, I thought I had reviewed them all until I realized that they actually had one I had not reviewed. The brand is AccuStrike, and the knife is called the Road Trip. Yes, AccuStrike has some interesting names for their knives, and they've got interesting boxes. I mean, this is the box the Road Trip comes in. Very pretty, great art. For those of you who haven't seen my videos on the other AccuStrike knives, let me fill you in a little bit about them. The company was started by Dwayne Horvath, who lives in New Jersey. Man's always been a tinkerer, and he developed what's called the Mimic, which is a training knife used by a lot of martial arts academies, some police academies, basically anyone who's looking for some realism in knife training without accidentally hurting their students. He got the idea when he was studying MMA, and he realized that some of his fellow students just weren't really taking the practice knife seriously. It's as if they didn't think they could get hurt, didn't realize how badly a knife could do damage. So he came up with a Mimic, which is great. The blade lights up and it makes a sound, and it really alerts you when you've been struck by the knife. But it doesn't go to the full extent of the shock blade, which also lets you know, but it's just a might bit painful in the way it lets you know. Still doesn't hurt you, but it's not pleasant. Well, his Mimic training knife went over so well that he decided to come out with a line of other knives. And the one I'm looking at today, the Road Trip, is kind of like a lot of his knives. I mean, very intriguing shape. Really, I mean, it just cups in the hand so nicely. You wouldn't think so with that strange handle, but it really is very comfortable in the hand. This one is not assisted opening, but at least for me, it's probably the easiest to open one-handed of all his knives. It's got G10 handles and scales, which are very nicely textured. Pocket clip is actually reversible. You can flip it from right-hand carry to left-hand carry very easily, which is nice. As I say, it opens one-handed so nicely, and it's just so comfortable in the hand. I mean, he really looked at a person's hand and how it works when he developed this knife. I mean, it's only a little over 4 inches closed, which, is a little small for my hand, but just the way a little cut here for the pinky, nice cut for the index, cuts for the middle finger and ring finger. It's just cut for the thumb. Ergonomically, it's perfect. I mean, it's amazing. Very short blade, only 2.5 inches long, but kind of wide. Nice thickness. I mean, not as thick as, say, maybe the K-Bar Mark 98, but it's still not a bad thickness. Very nice jimping here. Kind of additional spear point with a very nice belly on it. Just very intriguing and very comfortable knife. The blade, by the way, is 8 CRKT 13 MOV, which is pretty standard nowadays. So let's see how it does with our standard battery of tests. Start off with paper test. And very sweet. Yeah. As someone said on one of my other reviews, it's going through that like a gull through clouds. It's just interesting figure. Does nicely on that. Let's see how it does on cardboard box. Standard heavy corrugated cardboard. And it's making very fast work of that. That is gorgeous. Hang packaging test. Standard pop bottle. Let's see how it does. In nicely. Yeah. And it's doing quite nicely. Very sweet. I like that. I may have forgot to mention, but don't know if you can see it well on your screen, but that is a hollow ground blade, which is perhaps part of why it's cutting so nicely on cardboard. Let's see here, paracord. Standard 550 military grade paracord. I threw that like a hot knife through butter. Yeah, it would help if I actually, yeah. Now, we get to the really challenging part, since we've got a tiny little loop here. Not sure, can't get very much of the tip through there, but let's see. Cut halfway through it. Probably would have done quite well if the blade tip was a little thinner and could have gotten more through, but I'm not going to complain about that, that's for sure. So, last of our standard tests. Let's see how it does with a piece of wood. Yeah, it's very nice, very comfortable. Sweet. If you want to do some whittling, this baby will do it. I know whittling's not all that popular anymore, it seems like, but it'll handle it. And back to the paper test, just to see if it's taken any damage from the others. Not a bit. It's just... So there you have it. The AccuStrike Road Trip. Very unique design, very unique look. But comfortable as all get out. You're looking for something unique and eye-catching in the line of EDC knives. This is going to fit the bill perfectly. It just... say it's one of the most comfortable knives I've ever felt. It's as if it was molded straight to my hand. So, but there you have it. Beautiful knife, striking, and very good blade. Went through all of our tests like it wasn't even... well, basically it laughed at it. What can I say? So, but as always, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be putting a link down below if you should happen to want to get one for yourself. I'll also probably provide a link to AccuStrike's website in case you want to learn more about their other knives or their trainer, the Mimic. And as always, remember, if you're going to do something, no matter how minor, or how insignificant it might be, if it's worth doing at all, it's worth doing with attitude. See ya.